by Victor Hugo. Gentlemen of the jury, if there is a culprit here, it is not my son. It is myself. It is I. I who for these 25 long years have opposed capital punishment, have consented to the inviolability of human life, have committed this crime for which my son is now arraigned. Here, I denounce myself. Mr. Advocate General, I committed it under all aggravated circumstances, deliberately, repeatedly, tenaciously. Yes, this old and absurd lex talionis, this law of blood for blood, I have combated all my life. All my life, gentlemen of the jury. And while I have breath, I will continue to combat it. By all my efforts as a writer, by all my votes and all my words as a legislator, I declare before the crucifix, before the victim of penalty of death, who sees and hears us, before the gibbet, for which 2,000 years ago, for the eternal instruction of the generation, the human law made the divine. In all that my son has written on the subject of capital punishment, and for writing and publishing, for which he is now in trial. In all he has written, he has merely proclaimed the sentiments from which from his infancy I have inspired him. Gentlemen, jurors, the right to criticize the law and to criticize it severely, especially of penal, is placed beside the work of amelioration, like the torch beside the work under the artesian sun. The right of the journalist is as sacred, as necessary as the right of the legislator. What are the circumstances? A man, a convict, a sentenced wretch, is dragged on certain morning to one for public squares. There he finds the scaffold. He shudders, he struggles, he refuses to die. The victim clings to the scaffold and shrieks for pardon. His clothes are torn, his shoulders bloody, but still he resists. They drag him forward to execution. He is hoisted on the scaffold and his head falls. And then to every conscience runs a shoulder. Never had a legal murder appeared with an aspect so indecent, so abominable. All three jointly implicated. It is at this very young moment that from a young man's breast escapes a cry, wrung from his very heart. A cry of pity and of anguish, a cry of horror, a cry of humanity. And this cry, you would punish. And in the face of the appalling facts which I have narrated, you would say to the guillotine, thou art right. And to pity, saintly pity, thou art wrong. Gentlemen of the jury, it cannot be. Gentlemen, I have finished.